Здраво на сите! Ова видео ќе биде малку поразлично од останатите. Односно, денеска ќе имаме гостин од тимот на Jungle Scout. Доколку сте ги гледале моите претходни видеа, сигурно веќе знаете што е Jungle Scout. Но денес Joe Cardilo ќе ви објасни многу детали кои што треба да ги знаете. Да не должам многу, веднаш ќе преидеме на прашањата. Уживајте!
So I will go ahead and share my screen.
Great.
Can you see it?
Yes, of course.
All right, awesome. So I'm jumped into Jungle Scout right now. We're in the academy, which I just want to point out real quick. It has a lot of awesome research tutorials on all of our different tools and features. So hopefully I'm helpful today, yes. But definitely the videos in here are a great place to learn how to like best use Jungle Scout as well. But when looking for a profitable product, I'm an Amazon seller as well. I started selling on Jungle Scout in 2017. I'm still selling today, but joined the team a year ago. And back then I was the product database and the extension. Right. So we also have the opportunity finder, which I'll jump in. And that's certainly like my favorite tool right now for product research, but give a high level overview here of the product database. So this is essentially filtering through the, tens, hundreds of millions of products on Amazon. And just by starting, we want to select the marketplace we're in. So currently Jungle Scout supports US, Mexico, Canada, and the EU. We have all the categories on Amazon as well, some product tiers, seller types, so I'll just go through like a filter that I like using. I think when it comes to finding a profitable product, there's certainly no guaranteed filter. I think it's a lot of like playing with the filter, playing with the results, filtering based on keywords and excluding keywords, etc. But for example, for product tier, I like standard. Oversized is going to have more expensive shipping rates. Seller type, I always like FBA. Third-party sellers like you and I. For price, you always want a price that leaves you room for margin, right? You probably don't want to sell a product at $5, $10, or even like $15. So I like looking at like $20 to $60, say, depending on my budget. We definitely want some sales. So maybe we want $5,000 of sales every month. The listing quality score is this in-house algorithm that factors the quality of the product's title, bullet points, photos, and description. Mm-hmm. 1 is the lowest, 10's the best. You can definitely filter by this as well. Weight, number of sellers, rating, reviews, net, a lot of filters to play with, right? If you have an idea of what product you do want to sell, so maybe it's like in an organic niche, or like some keywords around what you're looking to sell, maybe like gym equipment or at-home work supplies. You could include those here. And then after you search, maybe a good example I like is searching through pet supplies to sell cool like pet toys, pet products. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the results will be like pet food or litter. And things that I don't really want to sell, right? It's not a physical product. Mm-hmm. And that's where excluding keywords is really powerful. So you could exclude the words, food and litter, just to narrow down those search results a bit more, right?
Yes, more focused.
Exactly. You definitely want to focus your results in these search. So dropping down here, I just threw in some things. And I'll kind of talk through the data of these columns. So we have the products here on the left, of course. The brands are listed as well. I'll zoom in a little bit. The ASIN will search for keywords for this product.
Yes.
And this little A button will pull it up directly on Amazon in a new tab so you can check it out yourself. we have the monthly revenue these products are selling and a fee calculator as well. So this product's priced at $20.97. And then we can kind of break down and get an idea of where the money's going, right? Of course, there's Amazon's fulfillment fee, a referral fee. And then you might go on Alibaba and source this product, find it cost $1.50 or $40 landed. And that leaves you $11.70 for, you know, your PPC, etc.
Good profit.
Good profit, great profit.
Yes.
So, you know, we jump into the listing quality score, the number of sellers, dimensions, weight. You can certainly remove some of these columns if they're not appropriate, and then add them to your product tracker. Going back to your original question, Blackco, like, how do you find a profitable product?
Yes.
I've spent a lot of time in Jungle Scout. I've shown a lot of people how to use it. I've heard a lot of stories and seller success stories. And you have some people that can find great products in minutes or hours. And you also have people that will spend weeks and weeks looking for products. My advice to those people is always to like take a big bite from the beginning, you know, track every product that you think may work. And as you go, as time passes, as you think things through, as you compare sales and data and think about how I can market this product, how I can brand it, even when you're looking at suppliers and how expensive it is to source, that's when you kind of narrow down that list. And I think a lot of people are looking for the perfect product, like right off the bat. They want it to jump out and say, hey, I'm a perfect 10 listing quality score. You know, I have so much demand and no competition.
Yes.
And yeah, there are those needles in the haystack. Some people get lucky, find them, others don't. But I think when it comes to product research, where people struggle the most is that analysis paralysis, and they just kind of overthink it, right? And they're looking for something perfect. And when they don't find it, they get defeated and might give up. I do want to point one more thing out too, when looking at the profitable product, because I think the database is great. It's a really useful tool, but looking at products like product by product, line item by line item, it can get tedious, right? Especially if there's a ton of results, hundreds of results. So we actually recently released this tool, the Opportunity Finder. And, you know, the categories are very similar, but you'll notice the filters are a lot different here on the right. So instead of plugging in individual numbers, we're actually using sliders. So monthly search volume, the price, the number of units sold, and the competition. And I think this is a really, really fun way to do product research, because the results, instead of showing line items of individual ASINs, it's actually showing niches as a whole. This is using keyword search data to find profitable product niches. So, oh, perfect. I love this. This is awesome. So the example I actually pulled is something that I found a couple weeks ago in the Opportunity Finder, and I just found it again.
Yes.
It's a cat calming collar. So this is a cat collar is going to be a very, very high competitive product that would not be a good idea to sell. But in the Opportunity Finder, we found this cat calming collar. So we're looking at it as a niche at a whole right now. You know, the products in this niche sell an average of 600 units a month, priced at $17. Competition is low, so the niche score is high. There's some monthly search volume data here, price, etc., seasonality. And you can pull it up on Amazon,
We can see
which I actually already did. Yeah, and like now, instead of going through the database and trying to find one cat calming collar, we found the niche as a whole, and then we can kind of go to Amazon, digest it all in, look at all the ASINs for this niche at once, and then really decide, you know, like using the extension data, what if this is something I want to sell. So I just wanted to point that out too, is the Opportunity Finder is a really powerful way to do product research right now.
Yes. We can see from there, it's a product with score 6 or 7 worth investing in.
Good question. So Right. Let me pull up the extension real quick. And let's see. Sign me out. So I got to sign back in real quick. Here we go.
Okay. We have time now with the coronavirus.
All the time in the world, my friend.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, I got it up. Share the screen. Okay, great question. So I'm glad you asked that actually. I did mention the opportunity score, as well as the listing quality score. And you asked, is a product with a score of 6 to 7 worth investing in?
Yes.
I'd say absolutely yes. The opportunity score or listing quality score is definitely something that can be taken like with a grain of salt. I think that any niche or product you look at, you should give some manual review and manual thought and ask yourself a couple questions. So kind of going back to that analysis paralysis I was talking about, a lot of sellers may be looking for a perfect 10 or an 8 or a 9, right? And they might see a 6 or 7 and say, oh, this probably isn't a good niche to invest in. And I'm going to counter that. And I'll say, I've even seen 4s and 5s that I think are really good, strong opportunities. And I think a good example right here, kind of staying on this calming collar.
Yes.
So we actually see in the extension, the opportunity score is a 3, and we have high demand and high competition.
Yes.
But this is why manual review is so important. So let's say we found a 6 or a 7. Let's still look at the products, and you need to ask yourself, how do I differentiate and how do I make my product better? Because there might be a great opportunity for you to come into a niche that's a 6 opportunity score.
Yes.
And differentiate by changing the product, upgrading it, adding value, having the best marketing and branding and photos, and really dominating that niche, right? Which will probably be harder to do if it's at a 10 or something. But then also, this cat calming collar is a great example because at a glance, we see a 3, which would probably be an immediate like, okay, this is not a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually look at the niche, so just scrolling down, we'll very quickly see that some of these products that are listed organically on the first page are actually not cat calming collars. So there's some sprays, there's like CBD edible chews, and there's just a lot. Sorry?
Different products.
Exactly. So there's different products that are not cat calming colors. Like here's some sprays and diffuser kits and oils. Here's a toy. Here's another spray. More oil, more spray, diffuser kits, etc. Here's an audio sound. So my point is like products that are not cat calming colors, that are not this niche, are ranking organically on this page for cat calming collars, which means if you're actually selling a cat calming collar, it should be easier to rank on that first page because you're knocking off products that aren't that search term. So as we go through like the extension, we can filter by monthly sales and we'll see actually the product that's selling the most right on this search term is a diffuser kit. So if we remove this from the results, we'll see the data kind of shift. Mm-hmm. The second one is also a diffuser kit. So this leads me to say the opportunity score is actually being skewed a little bit and brought down because there's so many products that are not calming collars that are showing up on the first page and kind of messing with the results. So as we would remove more irrelevant products, the opportunity score would go up. So it's kind of like it's just very important to do your research and don't rely on a single number, because a lot of people might pass over a niche or opportunity. But if you take the time to look at it manually and think about how you can improve, then you're finding the gold where other people might have looked over it.
Great. So I have another question. Is how has the current situation with the virus affected on product research?
The coronavirus has definitely impacted Amazon and product research and the data being shown. So I'll jump back into a screen share. And as you mentioned, searches for masks, hand sanitizer, toilet paper is just going to be skyrocketed right now. And then, of course, Amazon has limited what they are shipping and selling. So FBA sellers were not able to send in inventory to Amazon for about a month, but that's actually being lifted as we speak. It's kind of returning to normal already. But some products that were considered non-essential were taking 2, 3, 4 weeks delivery time. So a lot of these searches, everyone's looking for the essential, right? Masks, etc. Now, we can actually use Keyword Scout here to have a little fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's search for, what would be the scientific term for the mask? Like a face mask.
Yes. Maybe.
So yeah, face mask, medical face mask. This keyword search term, this 90-day trend is up 30,839%.
Wow.
That's insane. Masks for germ protection is up 9,000%. Cloth face washable up 13,000%. Mask for virus protection is up 92,000%. Disposable face mask up 100,000%. So clearly search terms has totally spiked. Yeah, it's wild. So this being said, yes, data around COVID-19 is certainly skewed and spiked, but I think as a researcher, you're pretty easily able to filter out what is or not related to an essential item that would be considered worth selling, right? Maybe real quick, let's just take a look at toilet paper. I think this would be a fun one too. That's up, 1,000 to 5,000%. But back to your question, and it's a great one. So product research. Obviously, with these items spiking, with essential goods being focused by Amazon on delivery and selling, other products that we would normally be buying are probably not getting as many searches or as many purchases, right? So when you're looking at the extension or product data, you might see, if you're looking at 14, 30 days, more recent history, the sales volume might be a little bit low. Now, what's really cool about the opportunity finder, so going back there, I'll just click and focus on the data here. So we can actually look at historical data. So this is actually displaying 8 months of data, and we can get an idea of how the product performs over time. So it looks pretty steady. We can also look at the seasonality. So this is showing 12 months of data, and we show pretty steady demand, a big spike, around the holidays, after the holidays. But I think this is a really good way to do product research currently, because you're not relying on 14, 30 days of sales data. And it's actually really something you should do even if COVID-19 never happened, right? You want to sell a product that has consistent demand throughout the year. You can definitely sell products that might be Halloween related or summertime related and have a lot of sales during one season of the year and then slow down the rest of the year. That's totally fine. But a lot of people, especially for their first product, would prefer something that could consistently sell throughout the year. And that's why I think going in an opportunity finder and Keyword Scout and looking at this seasonality and how the product sells over time is extremely important. So you can do that in the opportunity finder by looking up keywords to products you're related to, and also just here in Keyword Scout as well. So, if we wanted to search for, suppose we'll use the cat calming collar example again, since it's a non-essential COVID-19 item. and it's actually still trending upwards. Maybe a lot of cats are getting anxious from the coronavirus, so the owners need to calm them down. But looking at that historical search volume, it's pretty steady over the past like 12 months, and it's actually trending slightly upwards. So that's a good sign. So this is kind of, I think, one of the best ways to do product research on top of normal strategies in relation to the coronavirus.
Great. So, and the last question is, apart from the virus and these products, has product research changed in 2020 versus 2019?
Good question. And I don't think so. I think that product research has really stayed the same. In 2020 to 2019, product research, the key differentiators and competitive that you're looking for in a product. So price, demand, competition, marketing, listing quality, sourcing, affordability, your budget, all of that has remained the same. I think the only thing that has changed is what we just talked about, and knowing that certain searches will see spikes related to the coronavirus, and certainly some products may see dips in their sales, and just being aware of that. And then just going a step further back and looking at this historical data, looking at the seasonal data is a way around that. So I think the fundamentals of product research, what's important, is the same. We do just have this added challenge of working around COVID-19's impact on Amazon's marketplaces. But through some of these tools, you can negate that risk and still make powerful data-driven decisions.
Се надевам дека ова видео беше поучно за вас и ќе ги искористите сите трикови и совети. Под ова видео ќе ви оставам линк со попуст за софтверот Jungle Scout. Не заборавајте да кликнете лайк и subscribe и се гледаме во наредните видеа. Поздрав, чао чао!